Today I am going to discuss question set 3 of DBMS question series. So we will discuss about how to draw an ER diagram by using MySQL Workbench software, and how to create database, and how to create tables within database, and especially how to create relationships between tables. For that kind of purpose, we cannot use ADSQL because ADSQL doesn't have any function to draw an ER diagram. So I will explain about what is an ER diagram. So before that, let me explain about these two softwares. In previous videos, I have told about that, but if you can remember, let me explain one last time. So as I told before, MySQL service is a services software. So we cannot see how it works. We cannot see directly how it works and what it does because it's running on background. So in that case, we have to use another software to interact with this MySQL server software. So we can use GUI tool to interact with this kind of software. So GUI tool means graphical user interface. So by using graphical user interface, we can interact with MySQL server software and we can work with it, and we can do our works and we can see how it works. So there are several softwares, several GUI softwares to MySQL server, but in this video series we are only using MySQL Workbench and ADSQL software. So in previous videos I haven't used MySQL Workbench, so from this video I will use MySQL Workbench software. MySQL Workbench is official GUI tool for MySQL server. So we can use it for create an ER diagrams, and we can do so many things by using MySQL Workbench. So let's move on to the question set 3. The owner of the Rajapaksa grocery store has decided to buy software to make his day-to-day business easier. The owner of this store has entrusted your organization to develop this software. Assume you are working as a software developer for this company and that you have been assigned to create a software database. So first task is use Rajapaksa DP for name in the database. Draw an ER diagram. So ER diagram is a database structure. We only can create it with MySQL Workbench, as well as we can use Navicat and other several softwares. But in this series, we only have MySQL Workbench to create this kind of ER diagrams. So first thing you should do is you can open MySQL Workbench software, and click on this connection. So if you don't have this kind of connection, you can create a connection by clicking this plus mark. You can give a name if you like. Any kind of name you can give for this, and you can test. You can create a connection by clicking on this test connection. So I'm going to create an ER diagram. I'm clicking on this connection, and as you can see in previous videos, we have created some databases. Even in this workbench we can see those tables, because these are only GUI tools. The GUI tools connected to MySQL server, and because of that we can see our created databases in all GUI tools that we connected to MySQL server. So we can create a database by clicking on this file tab and click on new module, and you can double click on this MyDB, and you can rename database name. The database name is Rajapaksha DB. So let's copy that, and so click on rename references and click on this OK button and close this tab, and you can add a ER diagram by double clicking on this add diagram. So see, the diagram has created, and there are many icons in this tab. We will learn about it later. In this case, they have given some instructions. Create a database table using the following data. So we can use this data to create tables, and within this ER diagram we can create tables by using this icon, and click on that icon and click on this space. As you can see, the table has created, and double click on this table box. You can create a table. First table name is customer, and table name is customer, we can add columns by double click on this area, and first column name is this, I'm sorry. And data type is vacha. You can select this drop down, and as you know, all table must have a primary key, so we can add. So as you can see, the warning message has came. The contain errors and cannot be accepted. The previous error is kept instead. We must have a primary key for table. So we can click on this auto increment icon. It will create automatic ID for each column in this table. So we can select auto increment, and we can create second column. Name is first name. Data type is vacha. Length is 45. And you can add last name. Data type is vacha, and that one is gender. Gender and data type. Length is 10, and last column name is contact number. We have created a table, and we don't have save it manually. We can close this tab and it automatically saved. Okay, the table has created. We can create another table. Its name is product. So you can click on this icon and click on this space, double click on this space, click on this space, and you can create this table. Name is product. Okay, we can add by double clicking on this, and this column is product ID, and the type is vacha, and length is 10, and primary key as added, and so I have mistaken. Let me close this. while in this customer table, the data type should be varchar. Its length is 10. So let's move on to product table again. Varchar and so the column name is product name. So field type is varchar, length is 45, and we have created the product table. So third table is brand. You can click on table icon and click on this space and double click on this, and you can create brand table. So first column is brand ID. Data type is varchar, and we have to add an data length. Second column name is brand name. We have created the brand table also, and we can close it. Brand table also has created. So let's move on to the third task. Customer who come to this store can buy as many items as they like. The store owner says that all purchased items must be stored in a database with the record. Design the database accordingly. Use the ER diagram for this. So we already created the ER diagram, and we have to create relations between these tables. So how do we do that? Before that, let me explain about relationships. In SQL databases, relationships defines the associations between tables. So allowing you to connect the data across multiple tables based on common fields, and relationships ensure data integrity and enable efficient data retrieval and manipulation. So there are primarily three types of relationships in SQL databases. So let's see what they are. First relationship is one-to-one relationship. So in a one-to-one relationship, each record in one table is associated with exactly one record in another table. This relationship is established by sharing a common key between the tables. For example, consider a table's consider a database with two tables, employee table and employee details table. Each employee has a unique ID, and the employee details table stores additional information about the employee linked by their shared ID. So next relationship type is one-to-many relationship. In a one-to-many relationship, a record in one table can be associated with multiple records in another table. However, a record in the second table can only be associated with a single record in the first table. So this relationship is established by using a primary key in one table. Let's say one site, and a foreign key in other table. Let's say many site. For instance, consider a database with two tables, department table and employee table. Each department can have multiple employees, but each employee can belong to only one department. I think you got it. The department table would have a primary key, for example department ID, and the employee table would have foreign key, example department ID. Referencing the department table, so third relationship is many-to-many relationship. In many-to-many relationships, records in one table can be associated with multiple records in another table, and this relationship requires an intermediate table known as a junction or associative table to establish the relationship. The junction table contains foreign keys from both related tables and forming a bridge between them. For example, consider a database with two tables, student and course. One student can enroll in multiple courses, and each courses can have multiple students. To represent this relationship, you would create a junction table of name, we say enrollment, that contains the foreign keys from both student and course tables. So these are the relationships between primary relationships between tables. So let's see how we can create relationships between the tables. So look at the product table and brand table. Considering product table, one product can have only one brand. For example, if you consider the brand Samsung, you can see hundreds of types of mobile phones under that brand. But if you consider one Samsung mobile phone, it belongs only to Samsung company. So one product can have only one brand, and one brand can have many products. That's the theory. So the relationship is between these two tables, one to many relationship. So between these two tables, we can create relationship, one to many relationship, and you can create it by using this icon. This icon indicates one to many relationship. You can click on that icon, and you must click on many site. The many site is product site because one brand can have many products. So many site is product site. You can click on product site, and secondly you can click on brand site. Considering this relationship, you can see that the product table automatically has an ID called brand ID, and you will see that this is foreign key to the product table and the primary key of the brand table. And we will discuss these primary and foreign keys in an upcoming videos. So let's move on to the customer table. So let's see how to create many-to-many relationship. So you can click on this many-to-many relationship icon and click these two tables and see the separate table has created. So this new table name is product has customer. It has two foreign keys from each product and customer table. As you can see, our task for today is over.